Hello everyone, and welcome to my second part of my Blu-ray and 4K collection. Obviously this is updated because I wanted to do it in parts so the video flows better and it's not too long and it's just a bit nicer and easier to watch. So for this part I'm going to do my last shelf, and I've started one of my racks because I have two racks. So this covers everything from the numbers all the way to E, the end of E, and then I'll do next video I'll do some more, so it's a bit more stuff to watch. I'll try and get through this as quick as I can. There is rather a lot to get through, so yeah, I'm not going to do any more for this introduction. I'm just going to get straight on with it. So first off is the only Bond film I have on Blu-ray, because I have got them all in a big box set except for, well no I have, because I've got Spectre separately and Skyfall separately. I've got the big 50th anniversary box set on DVD, which I've probably shown in my DVD collection video, but it's Casino Royale, which is arguably the best Daniel Craig Bond. Personally, I like them all. I haven't seen Quantum of Solace for a long time, and I know that that's usually, for most people, the weakest one. But I will rewatch them all before No Time to Die. But yeah, I did watch this not that long ago and I do really like it. It's annoying this in a really slim case, but it doesn't bother me too much because I am at some point going to get the box set on Blu-ray. But yeah, that's Casino Royale. Next up is 310 to Yuma, which I watched not too long ago. Wasn't too impressed with it. I thought it was okay, but I thought it was a bit slow and it dragged a bit. But I can see why people liked it. But yeah, 310 to Yuma. Next up, another overrated film, 12 Years a Slave. I enjoyed it, but I feel like I've seen the same film quite a few times before and it didn't do anything for me. The acting was really good in it, but I really don't think it deserved Best Picture. I think there were better, more deserving films that year to win Best Picture. Maybe, I think, did he win Best Actor? Maybe Best Actor he deserved if he did win it, because he was very good. As I say, the acting in this was really good, but I just didn't think much to the film itself. I didn't think it was as good as people said it was. Next is a throwaway action film that I quite enjoyed. It's not too long. I think it was only about, yeah, just over an hour and a half. So and it's Bruce Willis, and it's the last film Richard Donner directed. I don't know if we're going to get the fifth Lethal Weapon film. I hope we do, because I do enjoy those films. But yeah, 16 blocks. It's an alright action slash thriller. Nothing too special, but it was cheap, so I got it and I did quite enjoy it. Next is one of the best from last year, 1917. It's also probably one of the best war films in recent years that I've seen. Obviously it was all done in one shot and it's just beautiful to look at. This may be one at some point that I will get on 4K, but for now the Blu-ray is fine for me. Obviously Sam Mendes is a great director. I personally like both the Bond films he did, but a lot of people don't like Spectre, but I liked it for what it was. So yeah, 1917, great war film. Next up is 21 Bridges, one of the final performances from the late great Chadwick Boseman. It's a good thriller actually. A lot of people, when it came out, I think it was mainly critically panned. But it's alright. As again, it's not a very long one. It's only an hour and a half. So, and it's a good story and it's engaging, and it's just something to watch if you've not got a lot of time and you just want to throw something on. It's decent, I would say. So if you haven't watched it, I would recommend it. Next up is a comedy classic, one of my favourite comedies, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Obviously, this was Steve Carell's breakout. Well, you probably this, because I mean, Anchorman, he was great in, but this was his first proper lead breakout performance, I would say, and he was fantastic in it, and I just find it really funny, and if you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend watching it because it is a great comedy. Next up is probably one of, if not the best romantic comedy I have seen, and that's 500 Days of Summer, which I recently rewatched not too long ago. For most of these films, if I have watched them recently, check out my letterbox, which is opeters20. I did go on a break a few weeks ago, but I'm back now doing them again. So if you're interested on my views on films, go and follow me, and you see films when I watch them. I usually tend to go for between 2 and 3 films a day if I've got time. But yeah, 500 Days of Summer. Great performances from Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. Great soundtrack as well. Really like the soundtrack, and I just really enjoy this film. And I managed to get one with the slipcover, and it wasn't too expensive. So yeah, really happy about that. Next up is Ad Astra, which when I went to the cinema to see, didn't sit on it too heavy when I came out of it, and then when I had time to think of it over a period of time, I appreciated it more. I will need to rewatch it again to see if I do really like it or if it's just a meh film. A lot of people are one way or the other, but yeah, I like Brad Pitt, so I will watch it again and decide whether I do like it or not. Next up is A Few Good Men, which is a great film. I believe Aaron Sorkin, Aaron Sorkin wrote this, and he is one of my favourite screenwriters. Obviously, he did The Newsroom, which is my favourite TV series. The Social Network, which I've only seen once, but I do remember really enjoying. The American President, another great film, which should be soon in this. Yeah, he's just done a lot of great films, and obviously this was Rob Reiner, yeah, and he did The American President as well. Jack Nicholson, great performance from Demi Moore, and great performance from Tom Cruise as usual. And I just really enjoy it, especially the courtroom scene at the end. It's just a great film. One that I probably will get on 4K at some point because it does deserve it. Next up is Alita Battle Angel. How long ago? This was about 2 years ago. I saw this in the cinema. Obviously, originally it was supposed to be James Cameron, but then Robert Rodriguez took over, and I think he did a really good job. I thought it was a really well done film. Fun time. I know a lot of people don't think it's great, but it's really good. I think the visuals are a bit iffy, but other than that, it's an enjoyable action film. Not too long, just 2 hours, just under 2 hours. Yeah, really enjoy it. Next up is one that I grew up with, childhood, and I got it really cheap. I've watched it once recently. I don't know if I'll rewatch it again, but as I say, I got it cheap, and I did grow up with it on my childhood, which is probably the only reason that I have it, and that is Alvin and the Chipmunks. This is the Rock Hero edition. I don't know, I just found it in CX and picked it up a while ago. But yeah, it's alright. It's not a great film. It's a very, very kiddie film. Not much I can say about this. It's mainly one for kids. And then again, cheap. This is the third one, Shipwrecked. Same opinion really. It's alright. Nothing special. And then we have a great film from David O. Russell, American Hustle. Obviously Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Jennifer Lawrence. Great cast. Really good film. Probably not my favourite David O. Russell film. I do really enjoy The Fighter. I haven't seen I have got Silver Linings, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I will need to rewatch that. And Joy I thought was good, but not great. And obviously he did Three Kings, which I've seen, which I thought was alright, and I haven't seen some of his other ones. But yeah, this was a pretty good film. Don't know if it deserved to win the Golden Globes. It says it won 3 Golden Globes. Don't know if it deserved it. I prefer this, because this was obviously the same year as 12 Years a Slave. I prefer this to 12 Years a Slave, which might be a controversial opinion. But I just really enjoyed the story, so what can I say? Next up is American Gangster. I've seen about an hour of this, so I do need to go back and rewatch this, because it's Ridley Scott. It is Ridley Scott, isn't it? Yeah, and I really do like Ridley Scott. Most of his films are great. And obviously Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe, you can't really go wrong. I love both of them. And I love a good gangster film, especially when it's true. So, yeah, watching this soon, hopefully. Next up, I mentioned this already. The American President. I'm not going to say much, because I've already said what I want to say. I love this film. Just think it's great. Yeah, definitely one to watch. And then Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. I have this one because I got this cheap. I will need to get the first one because I do love both of them. I actually like this one. A lot of people are mixed on it, but I do like this one. I've seen it a few times now, and I think it's just as funny as the original. This has like a longer version, I think. I don't know if it's what it's called. I don't know, but I know it's long. There is 2 discs in this, and there's a longer version which I'll need to watch someone because I don't think I've seen the longer version. But yeah, good film, Anchorman 2. Then we have Annie, not as good as the original, but still pretty good. Still enjoy it. Yeah, it's a nice film. I think she did a good job as the lead, and I think the casting choices were pretty good. But yeah, as I say, not as good as the original, but it's still good. Next up, a classic I've not seen. I will be rectifying this soon, hopefully, and that is Apocalypse Now. So this is obviously the original version and Redux. Again, if I do enjoy this, which I'm sure I will get the 4K because I want to watch I think it's the final cut, I think it's called. But this is quite long, so it's finding time to watch it, which is why I haven't seen it yet, because long films, I need to have time to watch it. I have got a film that I'm really looking forward to watching on the way, which I won't say. Should be, if it does come today, it'll be in the next part, but hope if it does come today, I shall be watching it today because I've heard really good things about it and it's got some of my favourite actors in it. But you'll find out what that is either if you go onto my Letterboxd at some point, and I should have a review for it, or in the next video if it is here. But Apocalypse Now anyway, I'm going on now, a ramble. Yeah, I've heard great things, so I will be watching that soon. My favourite disaster film, way better than Deep Impact, I don't care what anyone says, I just think it's a better film. Armageddon. Bruce Willis is great, Ben Affleck's great. I think because Michael Bay did this and he's great at just explosions and stuff. That is what he does. He's not big on story, he just does explosions everywhere, which I'm fine with. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. Everyone knows that is the type of films that he does. I'm really looking forward to his next film, Ambulance, because it's Jake Gyllenhaal, who is my favourite actor. I think that's about a year that comes out, that's filming now, so, but yeah, Armageddon, great disaster film. And next up is one of my favourite films, and that is A Star Is Born. When I went to the cinema to see this, it was just amazing. I adore this film. I just think it's so well done, and what Bradley Cooper did. When I heard that he was directing it, I wasn't sure. I mean, he was a good actor, but he was mainly at this point known for his comedic roles, and this just completely opened my eyes, and I just thought it was great, and I have so much love for this film. It's just amazing. And next up was an actual surprise for me, Australia. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it because of its runtime. It is almost 3 hours, and it is, the synopsis when you read it is quite boring, but it's Baz Luhrmann, and one of my favourite films is Moulin Rouge, so I was planning on getting rid of this, but then I watched Moulin Rouge, and I decided I'm going to keep this, give it a go, and I'm glad I did, because I really enjoyed it. Not as good as Moulin Rouge, obviously, but I still really enjoyed the story. The characters Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman were perfect in the roles. I would have liked to see what Russell Crowe could have done, because I think originally he was supposed to play Hugh Jackman's role, but still Hugh Jackman's great. I love Hugh Jackman. I think he's a great actor. And yeah, if you are skeptical about watching this because you've heard bad things, don't listen to any of it. It's great, and I would definitely recommend watching it. Next up, we're into the Bees. Backdraft, great film, classic 90s film, cheesy, obviously Ron Howard, this is Kurt Russell and Billy Baldwin, Robert De Niro, Donald Sutherland, yeah, really good. I just love these types of classic 90s films, like you got Twister, Dante's Peak, Daylight, all those, Contact. I just love them, and I had to get this because I just absolutely love Backdraft. Next up is the Bad Boys collection. So this is Bad Boys, Bad Boys 2, and Bad Boys for Life. For me, the newest one, Bad Boys for Life, is the best. I don't know how. It might be because Michael Bay didn't do it and it had more of a story. Don't get me wrong, as I've just said, I do like Michael Bay when he does his explosions because that is what he does. But I always choose story over action. And the third one had the best story, so yeah, I like the third one the most, and the other two are still great, but just not on the same level as the third one for me. And next up we have Bad Times at the El Royale, which is very Tarantino-y. Obviously it was written and directed by Drew Goddard, who I think he wrote The Cabin in the Woods and The Martian, and The Martian's one of my favourite films, so this is good. Bit long. It is, well, it's not too long, I suppose, 2 hours and 15 minutes, but it feels a bit long. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was quite good, and the cast was really good, and yeah, I would watch it again. It was pretty good. Next up was one that I blind bought because it had Dustin Hoffman in, and I really like Dustin Hoffman, and that's Barney's version, which is Paul Giamatti. I can't remember if this is based on a true story. I don't know, but it centres on one man's life with his different wives, and it's quite good. It's don't know if I'd go back to it anytime soon, but I did enjoy it for what it was. As Rosamund Pike, Minnie Driver. Who else is in it? Does it say who else is in it? Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, decent film about. It's just about a man's life. I believe he's an author or something. But yeah, if it's on, I'd recommend checking it out. If you've got it, it's decent. My favourite Tim Burton film, Big Fish. Before watching this, I was very mixed with Tim Burton, but once I watched this, I fell in love with this film. I thought it was outstanding. Between this, sorry, apologies for the noise in the background, but it can't be helped. It's going to be going on all day, so I'm just going to keep on going on. Hopefully you can hear me still, and hopefully it's not too loud. You might not even be able to hear it, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, because if it is loud and it's like this tomorrow, I'll put my next part on hiatus. But anyway, Big Fish, really enjoyed this, really great film, and I really recommend watching it. Tim Burton, in my eyes now, is a really good director when he wants to be. Some of his films are crap, I'm not going to lie. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland are crap. That's just my opinion. Some people might like them, but yeah, this is great. Really recommend watching this. And next up, we have another cheapie that I got, Big Mommas House 2. I do really enjoy these films, actually. I need to get the first and the third one. But yeah, this is really good. Martin Lawrence is just, I think he's quite funny. And again, this was a childhood film that I grew up on, so I really wanted to get it. And it is still a good film. It's not crap like the Alvin and the Chipmunks film. It is pretty decent. So yeah, Big Mommas House 2. Next up, we have The Big Sick, which is another great romantic comedy, obviously based on the true story of Kumail Nanjiani, produced by Judd Apatow, and starring Kumail Nanjiani as himself. It's just great film. Not much I can say about this other than really you do need to watch it. I believe it might be on Amazon Prime, but I'm not sure because it's been. I think I first did watch it on Amazon Prime and then I picked up the Blu-ray and watched it again. But yeah, I would just go ahead and pick the Blu-ray up because I don't think you'd be disappointed in it. It is a really good film. Next up we have Birdman, which is fantastic 5 out of 5 film. Perfect for me. I think this is a perfect film. Probably maybe my top 20, maybe if not 30. But it's a perfect 5-star film. Not much else I can say about it. Everything in this is perfect. Even the ending I liked because it was very up in the air. You don't really know what happened. Yeah, great film, and I love the exclusive slipcover. I got this in the bundle. You've probably seen a previous video, and it was only £8 altogether, and I got 10 films. So I probably got this for less than £1, which is great, really, when you think of it. Then I have another great film, The Blind Side, with Sandra Bullock. Obviously, she won an Oscar for this. Well deserved. This is a fantastic film. I cannot recommend this enough. The story is so powerful, and as I've already said, the acting from Sandra Bullock is 10 out of 10. Yeah, just really recommend watching this. Great film. Next up, we have The Blues Brothers, another one of my favourite comedies. Obviously, this is probably the biggest film John Belushi did, and his best. And Dan Aykroyd, between this and Ghostbusters, great films. Yeah, really love this. Really love that there's real life singers like James Brown, and I think Ray Charles was in the first one. Yeah, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin. Yeah, great film. Really enjoyed this. Next up we have Body of Lies, another Ridley Scott film. I quite enjoyed this. DiCaprio and Russell Crowe. Yeah, it's like a spy, CIA thriller thing. Yeah, it's a fun watch. It's quite interesting. Not his best, but still really enjoyed it. Next up, another fantastic music film, Bohemian Rhapsody. Slightly prefer this over Rocket Man just because I prefer Queen, and I prefer the story of Queen. Although this was slated quite a lot, I enjoyed it quite a bit more than Rocket Man. I still really enjoy Rocket Man, but I just prefer this, really. Great film. Great film. Next up, there's another childhood film that I've not seen for a very long time, and that is Bridge to Terabithia. I remember really enjoying this as a child, so I just picked it up because it was cheap. So there's not much I can say about it because I can't really remember anything other than really enjoying it. And I can only remember bits from it. But yeah, I remember it being good. And then we have The Bucket List, another one of my favourite films. Obviously Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. It's just such a heartfelt film. And it has a good mix of comedy and drama, I want to, because it's quite emotional in parts. Again, not too long, and it is just a really nice, sweet story that I would definitely recommend checking out if you can. Next up, we have The Start of the Seas, The Call of the Wild, which was decent. I enjoyed it more than others, and I got this really cheap. I think it was about £3.50 on eBay. Definitely shouldn't say Harrison Ford at the top because there were more characters in this that had a longer screen time than he did. But yeah, I still really enjoyed it, even though the CGI of the dog was a bit weird. But oh well, good film, decent story. And then we have a Steven Spielberg film, Catch Me If You Can, DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. I remember really enjoying this. I do need to rewatch it because it's been quite a long time since I've seen it. But I did really like it when I watched it, from what I remember. Obviously also Christopher Walken. I think Amy Adams is in this as well, from what I remember. I don't think she's got a big role in it though. But yeah, Catch Me If You Can, would recommend that. Then we have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is just a classic with Dick Van Dyke. Yeah, classic. I think it's a musical. Yeah, it is a musical, isn't it? Yeah, really good. Another Steven Spielberg film I haven't seen yet, a classic apparently, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is just a standard Blu-ray, and it comes with the original theatrical version, the special edition, and the director's cut. I don't know which is the best to watch. Leave it down in the comments which you think's the best to watch, and then I'll watch it and give my opinion on it. And if I do enjoy it, I will upgrade it to 4K. But yeah, I've heard great things about this, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And then we have Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, another childhood film. I picked it up really cheap, and I do enjoy it. It's quite fun, and it's quite short as well, which is alright if you just want to watch something short. We have started the season now, haven't we? Yeah, we're on to this. I have already said that, I think. Collateral Beauty, yeah, a lot of people don't like it. I do really like it. I think it's a really good film. I can see why people don't like it, and I understand why people don't like it, but I do personally. I like most films. There are only a very few films that I just don't like at all and won't watch. I will watch almost anything, and it's not too long as well, so it's not a problem for me. And I like Will Smith in most of the stuff he does, so yeah, Collateral Beauty. Next up, we have another one of my favourites, Contact. Robert Zemeckis, and obviously it stars Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. I think it also has James Woods, John Hurt, Tom Skerritt, and Angela Bassett. Yeah, great film. Obviously it's about contact with aliens, and I just really enjoy it. I think it's a really well done film, and the ending's great as well. So yeah, Contact. Next we have Creed 2. I do need to get the first one, but I do love this one. I love both of them. The first one's obviously better than this one, but this one was still a strong film, and I did really enjoy it. Went to the cinema to see it, and obviously it's like a continuation. I haven't seen the Rocky films, apologies, but I believe it's a continuation of the fourth one, if I'm not wrong, with Ivan Drago. I might be wrong there because I haven't seen them, but I do want to get the box set for that at some point so I can watch them all. Next up is Criminal. Another cheapie I got from CEX, Kevin Costner. Really enjoy Kevin Costner films, which is why I got it. And it's also Gary Oldman and Tommy Lee Jones, and I really like them. Not too keen on Gal Gadot, but she's okay. Don't really like her as Wonder Woman, but she was alright in the Fast and Furious films. So yeah, Criminal, I need to rewatch this to see if I really like it, because I have watched it when it first came out, but I can't really remember much about it. Next up we have Crimson Tide, which is a great submarine film. I'm not sure if I prefer this to The Hunt for Red October, because I haven't seen that for a long time. I will need to get that so I can rewatch both of them and see which I like more, but I do remember really liking this. Obviously Denzel and Gene Hackman, directed by Tony Scott, obviously Ridley Scott's brother. Yeah, really great film, really enjoyed it. Yeah, oh sorry, great submarine film. And next up we have Dallas Buyers Club, which is another great film, great performances, especially Jared Leto, and Matthew McConaughey's great in this as well, and I just really liked the story and thought it was a fantastic film. Next up we have the Da Vinci Code, the first of the Robert Langdon films with Tom Hanks. This was Ron Howard, and when I watched this I do remember liking it, but I can't remember, it was really long. So again, when I rewatch this I need to have plenty of time to watch it, but I do want to rewatch it so I can watch the other two, which I believe aren't as long as this one. But yeah, the Da Vinci Code, I've got the books as well, but I haven't read any of them yet. And then we have The Day After Tomorrow, another great disaster film with Dennis Quaid and my favourite actor, Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, again, I tried rewatching this not that long ago, but it freaked out when I tried to put it on my 4K player. So I will try this again at some point soon, because I do remember really liking this. I've seen it a few times now. But yeah, Day After Tomorrow, good disaster film. Next up, I don't know why I've got this. Maybe it's because it's cheap, but I don't know if this will be staying in my collection. Diary of a Wimpy Kid 4, The Long Haul. Yeah, I went to the cinemas to see this, and I don't really know why. It's not very good at all. This probably was a 50p one I got, and I probably just got it for the sake of it. Whether it stays in my collection or not, I don't know. I do like the first three, but this one, when they changed the cast, no, I didn't think it worked very well. I don't think it was very good at all. And then we have one of the best action films of all time, if not the best, Die Hard. Obviously this started Bruce Willis's career as an action hero. I think Alan Rickman's probably the best villain in an action film for me. But his performance in Robin Hood was really good as well. I thought his villain in that was just as good as this. So I don't really know, but he was great in everything, Alan Rickman. But yeah, I really do like Die Hard. Then we have The Dilemma, which I can't really say much about. It's another Ron Howard film that I haven't seen, but it's Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, and I do like both of them, so I will get around to watching it pretty soon. Then we have Doctor Sleep, which in my opinion is better than The Shining. I just enjoyed it more, and I think he handled, Mike Flanagan handled this better than Stanley Kubrick handled The Shining, and I just really enjoyed this a lot more. I do like The Shining, don't get me wrong, but I just think this is just a bit better than The Shining, and I think Ewan McGregor did a fantastic job. Like one of my favourite Christmas films, Elf. I think Will Ferrell is fantastic, and yeah, not much I can say about this other than it's a classic to me. And I managed to watch this in the cinema a few years ago, just before Christmas, which was really special because obviously it came out not long after I was born, so I couldn't have seen it then. But yeah, Elf, great film. Enemy of the State, Will Smith and Gene Hackman, another Tony Scott film. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, great thriller. It's more of a political thriller from what I remember. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's also John Voight, I think, and it's an early role from Jack Black, if I remember correctly. But yeah, really good film. Really would recommend watching that. Next up is one of my favourite Jim Carrey films, and that is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's very difficult between this and The Truman Show because they're both great films. I probably would put The Truman Show over this, but it's difficult. I do like when Charlie Kaufman writes but doesn't direct. I do really like being John Malkovich. I wasn't too keen on adaptation though. But yeah, I love this and would recommend checking this out. And the final film is The Expendables, another good action film. I've seen this just once, but I do remember really enjoying it and it being a pretty good action film. So that's it for part 2. Sorry it's gone on for 30 minutes, about the same as the last one, but I wanted to get as many as I could and not make it too long, so it's easy to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more and see the rest of my Blu-ray collection updated. Comment down below if you've seen any of these films or if you want to know my opinion on any of them, if I didn't go into them in enough detail. And yeah, until the next video, bye.